So, good evening, everyone. So, for tonight, we would be continuing our lesson for our class Special Education and Inclusive Education. So, we are now on lesson 5.2. So, as a recap, I hope you've learned something from those lessons that we have. So, let's start. So, let's continue. One of the proponents of the special education is Edward Segwin. He is a French psychologist who in 1984 he immigrated to United States and developed an influential guidelines for educating students, especially not just students with special needs in physical but also in mental retardation. So Segway's education program stressed that the importance of developing independence and self-reliance in disabled students by presenting them with a combination of physical and intellectual tasks. But this doesn't mean that this is a very heavy load or yung mga tasks na pinapagawa natin sa kanila is like those who are of a let's just say a normal functioning individuals. These tasks are just what are routinely tasks. So let's continue. So he developed this psychological method. For sensory training, he developed a focus on touch and utilization of different materials. For motor training, each appropriate a simple, complex functional work and play. So they developed method just to make sure that the individual could function in the society. So what are those bases? So number one, he frequent changes activities. So 'di ba? If you're a person who already observed those students or those persons na with a disability, number one problem would be their focus. They just keep on doing tasks from one place to another, going from one place to another, doing one task, then shifting and not just gradually, but shifting immediately to another task. So that's why if you go to special class, you will see that there are many things or there are many uh ano ba yan, yung mga materials which are all sensory materials that would keep the child busy and it would attract the child's different sensory systems. Okay? Analysis of tasks into their components. So, they would analyze saan ba dito ang mas maganda. So, next is the differentiation of senses from intellect. Oh, ito siya. As you can see that these special children, uh, yes, di ba specialty ni Segwin is yung mental retardation. Ibig sabihin sa utak talaga. So please remember that these children cannot function well. And that's why uh, Segwin focus on touch. If you would go to a special child class, the teacher would test first the child because you could not go inside a special classroom if all those things were very overly sensitive to a special child. I don't know if you have watched the movie My Name is Khan. Diba, meron siyang Asperger syndrome. So, and he has pero nasa naman siya na spectrum, yung nasa masyadong matalino. But, the thing there is, he hates the color yellow. So, that's why he identified yellow as a very no-no. So, may mga child naman, as you could see that there are children who are special, masyadong sensitive naman sa sound. That's why some children, meron sa mga headphones, diba, just to block those sounds. Then, we have the physical education. Uh, Please bear in mind that these children, although they are born with complete body, but the functions of their body is not very good. So that's why he also emphasized on doing activities and not just activities na ano ha, yung complicated activities. simple activities such as walking, lifting, responding. Next is sensory stimulation. Alam mo na yan. Employment as an outcome of education. So, very good ito kasi we have a career out of these children. So, let's move on with Maria Montessori. As what I've emphasized, Maria Montessori is a very good, ano naman, di ba? Educator. So, Montessori education flow, as you know, alam niyo na to, di ba? So, we have our educational system is greatly rooted to the Montessori school. So, number one, parent infant, preschool, 3 to 6, diba? Lower, upper grades, 6 to 9, 9 to 12. Then we have the middle school, 12 to 10. Then, she emphasized that the prepared environment introduced an interruptive series of learning passages or continuum. The prepared environment is Maria's multi concept that the environment can be designed to facilitate maximum independent and exploration by the child. If you go to the Montessori school, uh, sino naman dito nakapasok ng ano, sa room sa DepEd? Hopefully, naka-expose na kayo, diba? You go to the different, ano, rooms from the Department of Education. Kahit sa mga elementary schools na malapit sa inyo, what have you observed for the past 3 years? Diba, there has been a shift of classroom decoration. In the past, the classroom decorations were very simple. There were just posters, there were just bulletin boards, blackboards, yung mga common alphabets, yung mga heroes. But what happened to the DepEd classroom today? It's an outburst of sensory. Colored, masyadong, ano, but then there's always the uh, thematic option. But as you can see, diba, these are what prepared environment so that what would happen to facilitate maximum independent learning and exploration by the child. You go to the reading corner, you explore, you read, diba? Ang gaganda ng mga reading corner. You go to the one part of the classroom. It's such a discovery. And if you were a child, you would be entering the classroom. How would you feel? Diba? You would feel overly joyed. Kasi nga, ang gaganda ng classroom and you would be encouraged to learn. Unless na lang yung teacher mo masyadong masungit, kaya takot kang pumunta sa mga parts ng classroom. Diba? But rest assured, those things are for children's utilization. So, what would happen? According to Maria Montessori, each material in the classroom isolates one quality. This way, the concept of child is known to what? Discover in isolation. For example, Pink Tower. Oh, yan na siya. So, let's not dwell on that. So, let's go to Ovid de Crowley. So, what did Ovid de Crowley said? He's one of the greatest also educators. He said that the school will be located wherever it is the nature, wherever life is, wherever the work is. So, in 1901, De Crowley founded the School for Children with Mild. These are the, just, kung ano pa, they could function in the society. You would never know that they have that disability unless it is triggered. So, behavioral disorder, learning little light mental retardation, and he gradually invented his pedagogy. So, he's in 1907, he founded a school for ordinary children. So, let's end the lesson here.